Hi, good evening and welcome everybody. I'd like to call to order the Lake County School Board meeting for Monday, August 28th, 2017. Let's begin by rising for a moment of silence and the Pledge of Allegiance, please. Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, thank you all for joining us and welcome. We certainly have a packed house tonight and a lot of schools represented. I know for an item coming up very shortly on our agenda tonight. Speaking of the agenda, Superintendent or board members, any changes, amendments, additions, or deletions to it?
Yes, I have two. 8.04 is being pulled to discussion, and 10.01 is pulled for no action.
All right. We'll consider 8.04 separately and 10.01 we'll pull. Board members, do you have any? I don't have any public input cards tonight, so with that, we'll move straight into the approval of the amendments. Superintendent?
I recommend approval of the minutes from the school board workshop dated July 31st, 2017, the special meeting public hearing on the tentative budget dated July 31st, 2017, and the regular school board meeting dated August 14, 2017.
All right, there's a recommendation from the superintendent. Any motion?
So moved.
Motion by Bill, and a second by Stephanie. Any questions or comments before voting? All right, seeing none, let's vote. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. All right, that carries unanimously 5-0. With that, we'll jump down to the representation portion of our agenda, and the first looks like a presentation. Hi, good evening and welcome.
Good evening. My name is Hank BULLDOG. I work for COURTYARD, and we're here to present a check for back-to-school activities. We're committed to supporting education in the school districts in our service area. And as part of our new back-to-school initiative, Lake County Schools are receiving $3,500 to enrich your back-to-school activities in Lake County. The funds are intended to promote your back-to-school teacher luncheons, new teacher welcomes, training sessions, supply needs, and it's a key cooperative principle of COURTYARD education. So we wanted to make sure that we push the funds to you, the school board, and Lake County Schools. And I don't know if you're aware of this, but COURTYARD goes to all the local schools, and we coordinate on-site with program coordinators, and we put energy education into your classrooms, summer programs, stuff like that. So, so I have a big check, and
right.
if you could,
Awesome.
we'd like to get a picture up front with the school board and
Well, thank you very much for your generosity. Certainly, we know that education is grossly underfunded, so every little bit helps. So thank you for being part of that help.
Well done. Y'all go ahead. In front. There you go. Who's right? I'm only concerned about the camera. Someone push my chair way out. Oh, stop it.
All right, next we'd like to recognize the 2016-17 STEM schools. And for that presentation, I see Doretha Cole coming forward. You have some very lovely program assistants with you there today.
Good evening. Superintendent Carnegie, Board Chairman Dodd, and school board members. It is indeed a pleasure to come before you tonight to recognize our STEM schools. These schools have worked very hard in the area of STEM to be recognized tonight. With me, I have Kelly Dodd, who is our science program specialist, and Tracy Wood, our math specialist. So they will be making the presentations to our schools tonight. And for those of you who are receiving this recognition, we want you to go out to the rotunda for a group shot afterwards. Thank you. Kelly?
Yes. So,
After shaking hands with our board members and the superintendent.
we always love the opportunity to personally congratulate them. All right.
I just want to say that it is a pleasure to come hand out these awards today. As someone who has assembled the STEM portfolio at our school for 3 years, I know this is a huge deal and a huge project, and we appreciate all the time and effort you put into this. Let's start with our silver elementary schools. We're going to start with Eustis Elementary. Pine Ridge Elementary.
I take it that's your district?
Round Lake Charter.
Yay! Rah, rah.
Seminole Springs Elementary School. Treadway Elementary.
That's all they get.
Oh.
You still want her.
Wait till she has to walk up here. You bad.
All right, our gold elementary schools. First, we have Asatula Elementary.
Oh, yeah. I forget they're south. Yeah, I know. We'll take it off now.
Claremont Elementary. Cypress Ridge Elementary School. Eustis Heights Elementary School. Fruitland Park Elementary. Grassy Lake Elementary School. Groveland Elementary. Imagine South Lake Charter. Leesburg Elementary. Lost Lake Elementary School. Mineola Charter. Sawgrass Bay Elementary School. Sorrento Elementary.
That's where you need the microphone. Oh, we're being told, calm down.
Tavares Elementary. Triangle Elementary. And the very patient Umatilla Elementary. All right, we are going to move on to middle and high school. Oh, you're not. Are we going to come through and shake hands? Okay.
It might be good to do a little reset.
I think we have more people standing than sitting right now. Let's give everyone a
All right.
round of applause.
Thank you. You look familiar.
Good job.
Well, there are still the middle schools.
Oh,
My chair always gets stuck.
And I think we have some middle schools to announce as well.
We sure do.
Of course.
Let me start with our Silver Elementary School, and that would.
Middle.
Oh, I said elementary. Sorry, our Silver Middle School, and that is Claremont Middle School. All right, our gold middle schools. We have Imagine South Lake Charter. Oak Park Middle School. Windy Hill Middle School. And we have a gold high school, and that would be South Lake High School.
Right, and congratulations to all of you. We would like to personally extend that congratulations, so please come on back.
Congratulations, sir. Good to see you. Congratulations. Well done. Nice job. 50 years of softball never hurt my knee. Congratulations. Good to see you. Congratulations, sir. Good job. Congratulations. It's good to see you guys here. Congratulations.
Where'd the lawyer go?
that's what age would do to you.
Steve? Does he have anything? Oh, I see. All right. Mr. Johnson, I think it's time for your report. Do you have anything? No. Oh, all right, very good. We don't have any unfinished business, so we'll go right into the consent agenda. Superintendent?
All right, I recommend approval of the consent agenda, items 8.01 to 8.03, 8.05 to 9.02, 10.02 to 10.08.
All right, there's a recommendation from the superintendent. Any motions?
So moved.
Motion by Bill
Second.
and a second by Sandy. Any questions or comments before voting? All right, then all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, nay. That carries unanimously. We're going to give separate consideration to 8.04.
Per Board Policy 2.8, I am recommending that the board cancel the RFQ for this particular project to be brought back to you in the very near future with a revised process. We are in the process of hiring a new procurement supervisor who will be instrumental in overseeing some changes that we need to make to update our processes and procedures. And we'd like to bring them back to you for your approval and then bring back this item at a later date.
All right.
So moved.
Recommendation from the superintendent. Motion by Bill and a second by
Second.
Christie. Very good. Any questions or comments? And for any public who happens to be watching at home, this is to clarify, we are not canceling the project. Cypress Ridge is still going to get their new cafeteria. We're just developing the process there, and my understanding is we don't even expect this to change the timeline for completion. So, right? Good? All right. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. All right. 5-0 there, and we have one item actually under discussion, that's 11.01, the tentative approval of the 2017-18 Student Progression Plan.
You were stroking your beard.
The matter before the board is the tentative approval of the 2017-2018 Student Progression Plan. If there's anyone here this evening that wishes to speak to this item, then please come forward to the podium at this time.
All right, Mr. Klatt, we'll give you 3 minutes.
Okay. Just right before coming in, I got new language revisions dealing with how we're handling missing grades. And I have not had a chance, like I said, I just got this before coming in, and I haven't had a chance to bounce it off of some of our elementary teachers to see if this would address their issues and problems. And so just would like to be able to do that.
The language you were referring to, do you have a page on that or a section that we could?
It's the new language revision.
Oh, there it is.
of the Student
Got it.
progression, dated 8/25. And apparently this was worked out today, and I don't know of any actual teachers who had issues, who had a chance to look at this and comment. So I'd just like to have some time so I could bounce it off some elementary teachers and see if this addresses their issues.
All right, okay, thanks so much.
Thank you.
That change was actually made in response to the concerns that were expressed at the board workshop. And so I believe that they do have a solution to that, which is exactly what teachers were asking for, so that they won't be entering any grades. We've worked it out in Skyward that they can actually, I think the I can actually equal something, or
The next now, yes.
it's an X now, yes.
It's
Thought
really
we
gonna
was
be
out
like
of letters.
exempt.
I thought we was out of letters. Okay.
Oh my gosh. I watched that
All right.
discussion.
We should probably get a recommendation so we get a motion on
Before we
the.
go any further, Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
We do-
Oh, you want to
usually
close,
have
you want to
some-
close the,
I want to see if anyone else wants to speak to this item at this time. Please come forward to the podium. I don't see anyone else coming forward and believe it appropriate to close the public hearing, Mr.
all right,
Chairman.
there it is, thank you very much.
I recommend tentative approval of the 17-18 Student Progression Plan, item 1101.
All right, there's a recommendation from the
So moved.
superintendent and a motion by Bill and a second
Second.
by Stephanie. Any questions or comments before we vote now?
I have one more that I thought of this. I think I don't even know if I discussed it with you, or I know I discussed it with you, but I don't remember the answer. We have the ability to have kids in special cases who have IEPs, children with IEPs, can get a waiver of their FSA score, which will allow them to graduate even though they didn't pass. I think I discussed it with you and didn't, and I was supposed to discuss it with her. That's not in the progression plan, as best as I can tell. Or I couldn't find it in there, if it is. And I did read the section on ESE children.
You did, and you didn't see it. Okay.
didn't
I will double check. It should be in there. If it's not,
Okay.
Might be embedded in a table under the requirements.
It could be in it, it could.
It is a decision made by the IEP team, and they do have to attempt the FSA one
Right.
time. And then they are eligible. So if it is not in there, I will ask ESE to get some language to put it in there.
I didn't check every ESE table. I was looking at the verbiage.
Are we gonna do it now or later?
Anything else? We good?
That was my only.
Oh, that's the only one. I do see that the EOC attempting that one time is in there. But FSA, you think, would have its own separate call out as well, right?
Yes.
In there. All right.
Could I just call to the board's attention what I handed you? There was a draft that was uploaded on Friday evening after I made changes based on what we talked about at the board workshop and in consultation with others. And then since then, in more discussion and trying to answer more of the questions, these are the literal changes that have been made from the draft that you have, okay? These are the only changes. And so my hope is, the only other thing I would like to do, barring any more content changes that we'll talk about, is have a formatting expert is going to take the content of the plan and make it a little bit more manageable, purely in terms of formatting, because we fight that formatting every year, and it's time to do something a little bit different. But no content will change. So the look might be a little different when it comes back in 28 days, but the content will be the same. So these are the only pieces that have changed in terms of content.
All right, very good. All right, board, are you ready to put it to a vote for tentative approval? All right, then all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. All right, and that carries unanimously on tentative approval. So we'll see you back in 28 days. Thanks so much.
And I will just reference on page 105, the students who are in an ESE program may also meet the Florida State assessment requirement through concordant ACT or SAT scores or through the Florida State assessment waiver process.
Okay. Good.
All right, excellent. All right, Superintendent, that brings us to your report.
All right, well, first I'd like to applaud all of our schools for making last week's solar eclipse a true learning experience for our students. We had students across the district stepping outside with their protective eyewear, of course, to get a glimpse of the eclipse firsthand, while others were engaged in classroom activities to learn all about this historical event. We even had Treadway students in 5th grade participating in a conversation with NASA representatives via Skype, and lots of exciting things that took place. And as an alternative, parents wishing to enjoy the experience with their children were able to do so without any penalty, something that parents were greatly appreciative of. And I'd also want to thank all the community business and organizations who are partnering with our schools. You saw tonight, CECO being one of our sponsors, and we appreciate their generous donation. We also have ERA Grizzard, if I'm saying that correctly, donated $2,730 to the Eustis Heights Elementary School robotics program, and Bless Fruitland Park contributed $15,000 to Fruitland Park Elementary School last week. So as you've heard me say over and over again, this is a wonderful community who cares about its kids and its schools and absolutely understands what it means that when we say that it takes a village to raise a child. And speaking of people who love our children and go above and beyond, I ask that you keep Tammy Jerkins, our Teacher of the Year and State Teacher of the Year, in your thoughts and prayers. She'll be undergoing surgery tomorrow at Moffett to reattach the lining of her lung, and she's asked that we please keep her in our prayers as she undergoes that surgery tomorrow. And we're just praying for a great result and outcome for her. And also Doug Majors, who is truly a friend to all of us. He underwent open heart surgery last week on Thursday. He was hopefully being moved out of ICU today, and so he's doing okay. It was a bit of a surprise. He went in and found he had 5 blockages. And then B. Grassel, another individual who is on our Ed Foundation board and someone who I've gotten to know and just appreciate, also underwent surgery on Thursday, and she is at home doing well. She's resting. So, I think of this, and I also think about those in Texas, and I look at those images, and it's just heart-wrenching, and I just, what a blessed community we are, and I know that they're all in our thoughts and prayers as a community as well, and their support. So that's all for me.
All right, thank you very much. Any letters of condolence?
We had none.
Oh, that's good. All right, well,
I have a little
Andy.
presentation for mine.
about letters of condolence? Oh, phew.
It's a whole series.
Board member comments, and you can say, okay, Sandy, what you got?
All right.
All right.
You jumped up awful quick. He didn't even say that.
We're going to start here and go down the line. Stephanie, do you have any?
Works for me, boss.
All right, take it away.
All right. Well, first of all, the superintendent shared something that I was going to share as well. I attended the Fruitland Park presentation last Tuesday, and with the principal, Tammy Langley, there. And the project was called Project Generosity. Project Generosity. Have I got to sit down?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just came out looking at you like he had 2 hands. I'm looking at you like you have two heads because I don't even know why you jumped up.
All right.
Will that one work, that microphone?
Yeah, that'll work.
All right, very good.
I don't know about everything else. There we go. All right. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Lake County School Board.
This is Sandy's board meeting.
But anyway, the project was called Project Generosity, and they raised $15,000. And I mean, it was a great presentation that was there. There was quite a few people representing the community. And what was outstanding also was the pastor from the Life Church there out of Fruitland Park. He had a stack of envelopes about this thick that he gave to each of the teachers there a individual check for their needs in their classroom, I take it as for. And to me, that just outstands a lot of things that other people may think they do, but these people went out and did. So I appreciate that. Also this past week, and I don't know if y'all can see all this, but here is TAVARES High School, and I got to figure out, I don't do these things. Here is students and faculty working together to make this beautiful, talking about TAVARES High School. They're cleaning the hallways. They're scraping the gum off the courtyard. That's a wonderful job. You know, and I will say the girls that were in the hallways, that were cleaning the hallways, they're like, why do people walk down these walls, marring up these walls like this? I said, now you know you need to tell them that. Also, they were preparing here to wash or pressure wash, and they were pulling weeds. And there's more weeds and cleaning cobwebs that was around there. And these are all students and faculty, by the way, that are there. Here they're still working on the weeds out there in front of the school. And we had a teacher that was out there utilizing the weed eater. We had students out there with teachers there from the school that were doing the painting of the TAVARES Bulldogs in the courtyard. They were adding the bulldog to the center of the courtyard. And that's all of this slide, folks. But there was supposed to be music with this, but it was there, but it was only on the first slide. And I will play it for you if I can. I don't know how to do that. Where?
Thank you, Karen.
I told you I don't do this. Where's this say slideshow up there? Oh, yeah.
Nicely done. Well, I know these other board members might have been giving you a little grief here, but I think that was just totally commendable, and thank you for sharing your enthusiasm and excitement. And
I'm glad they did not put my picture in there because my picture was in there. But I was glad they didn't enter it. That way I did not get Miss Diane Dwyer, the assistant principal, not Sandy.
oh, I thought you did that.
No, I can't take credit for that. No.
Did you
But-
take the pictures?
No, she did that too. I worked. I scraped the walls, but I will tell you, they had those miracle things, whatever them little white things are, you know, erasers.
Yes.
Well, I'm like, girls, yours looks like they still came out of the box. Mine's all wore out. They said, oh, you're putting too much elbow grease in it. So, but they did a great job trying to do what they could there in the hallways. And I commend the students and the faculty for this, and that the initiatives that they took to try to beautify their school, because they realized that there's not enough staff there at times all through the year to be able to do all that's there. And I thank Mr. Carr for getting us some paint. And the only thing they did paint, though, was the red out there on the sidewalk. They didn't paint the exterior, because I was told, please do not waste the paint if it's going to rain. So, but I appreciate the initiative. But there again, back to Fruitland Park, I appreciate the initiative that the group there came together. And I've talked to some others and churches around and seeing what we could do, because this is great that we buy into the system and that we just don't say, school board, you're not doing this, you're not doing that, but get in there and help assist as well. So thank you very much.
Well, thank you. And it's really nice to see and how refreshing it is to see all these students take so much pride in where they go to school. So it's fantastic. Thank you for sharing that tonight.
Thank you, and thank you so much for representing and being there at the Fruitland Park, the Bless Fruitland Park event. Actually, that's in my notes too. Say thank you to Bless Fruitland Park, and thank you to Sandy for being there. I couldn't be there, I was out of town. And obviously, it's an amazing group, and you have an amazing amount of energy. I also wanted to say thank you and let everybody know that we will have away bleachers at the Leesburg High very soon. The away bleachers were condemned, and we are in process of getting new ones. Are they now cleared? The old ones are now cleared out?
The majority of them. I mean, the bleachers are gone. The only thing that's there is the block structure or remnants of the bleachers on the block structure, but everything else is gone.
Yeah, and new ones are on their way, or coming.
Well, I believe Parks and Rec are going to provide some until we can get the bleachers, which will take some time to orchestrate that.
Okay. So, and yep, that's all. That's all. Thank you. Your turn, Bill.
I guess we have sound, right? So anyway, I want to go back to 8.40 and really commend Mr. Carr and your team and Karen, your team, and the superintendent for really giving the board an opportunity for a refresh and a review of such a important project to both the community and to our local community and to that district, that we have the right person in the right place to carry this off. So thank y'all, every one of y'all, very much. I want to mention there is a GoFundMe page for Doug. There was a really low limit that was set on it. He's going to be out for 10 weeks. It's my understanding he's used up all of his leave. And so that those of us that know him and appreciate all the work he's done for our kids, that if you could go there and contribute, anything would help. I'm just telling y'all. So that's it. Oh, wait, I have one more. Oh, and then this last weekend, we had the Boys and Girls Club, which is an amazing partner for us. They raised a record $205,000 for the benefit of our local kids. So it was all well done.
Yes, indeed.
Yes. I wanted to say, again, congratulations to our STEM school. I know everybody has left the building. Well, most of you have left the building, but not only to the schools. I know that is a giant leap, like Mrs. Dodd spoke about, to go through all of the requirements to be a STEM school, but then also to the Curriculum and Instruction Department for reviewing all of those portfolios to make sure that those schools met the requirements that they needed to. So I appreciate the work that's done in that area. I don't know. And it's very near and dear to my heart, so I appreciate the work that's continuing in that area. I also wanted to this is more of a personal note. I have a very, very close friend of mine who recently found out that her toddler is deaf and hard of hearing. He is severely deaf, and it is degenerative in nature. And to have grieved with her for the last 2 months, but not really be able to offer her any help. And I was speaking to a friend of mine who used to work for Lake County Schools, and she said, "You need to call Lori Westfall. Do you know her?" And yes, I do. Lori was one of our Teachers of the Year a few years back. And she has been teaching deaf and hard of hearing students for 26 years. And I don't know why I didn't think to call her, but immediately I did. She invited me and Tabitha to the deaf and hard of hearing unit at Astatula on Friday. And I'm not going to get choked up on the stand, but I will tell you that the compassion that those women showed to one of my dearest friends in the world made such a tremendous difference in her life and her toddler's life. And we met all three of the teachers, Ms. Northway, Ms. Vitro, I did not know, Ms. Westfall, I did. We met all the students who signed to us, perfectly signed to us, introduced themselves, spoke to us, and gave my very dear friend hope for her baby. And in addition, the pre-K ESC department spoke with her that day and is working to get her set up on an ESC evaluation for when he turns 3 in February. And Early Steps has also contacted her. And I mean, in a matter of days, this school system responded. So I am so proud to be affiliated with Lake County Schools this week. So thank you.
Very good. And Superintendent, I'm thankful that you had mentioned some of the activities with the eclipse. I know that I saw a column, just like many of you did, that seemed to think that we did absolutely nothing for the eclipse and sheltered all these students inside, but in reality we were certainly encouraging a structured lesson and for these students to take advantage of that. From the number of pictures that I saw on Facebook, that a number of our schools and teachers did those structured lessons, so it's not be perceived that these students were just completely sheltered, that this eclipse never even happened for them. But I'm also thankful for the opportunity to have been able to excuse those absences for families that wanted to be able to experience that event together or to do it in an educational way. I know, for example, with my students, with my kids, we went out to Lake Sumter State College where they had a variety of telescopes set up, equipment that certainly we don't own as a school district. And that was a great opportunity for students to experience that as well. I saw a couple other kids out there too. In addition to that, they had a number of other series of various projectors. These kids got to experience the eclipse like 5 different ways, which they would not have necessarily had in the classroom because we didn't really have all those resources available. So I think that, if we had followed the lead of some of the other districts who had pushed their dismissal time out, we would have heard from those critics too. I guess something like this, you can't satisfy everybody, but I feel confident that the plan that you put in place left the most options available to our students. So thank you for that. And then secondly, I've begun the tour of the South Lake schools, and I had a chance to visit Windy Hill this past week, and I thought this was particularly exciting for any of you who attended the Destination Lake. I think we all did. I walked into one of the civics classes, and there they had the sheet you might recall from the back of our name tags, the various prompts for accountable talk, and there they were using it right there in the classroom, that the administration had taken that from the Destination Lake event and then shared that information with the teachers who were then sharing it with the students. So very well done in order to get the information all the way from the district level down into the classroom. So that shows you the value of authentic literacy right there, as these students were collaborating and speaking and defending their answers. So great thinking. With that, yes?
One more thing.
Yeah.
I was so blown away by his presentation, I forgot to mention that I wanted to say thank you about the student portfolio, all the work that Ms. Cole had done, and I don't know if she is actually, Ms. Cole and Ms. Landry, specifically on the portfolio. I know that, and I listened to the video. I watched the video that you guys did on Monday, and I saw that there was discussion about the portfolio section and how parents had been really involved, and obviously I was one of those parents. And I actually sent the portfolio section to some of those parents, and it was very well accepted. So I thought you might like to know that the communication and working together really made a big difference to these parents. And I feel like, at least for parents and hopefully for kids of the future, we'll have more options to help more third graders pass on that are able to read to get through to 4th grade. I think it'll make parents feel a little more confident that we have a good portfolio.
All right.
So, thank you.
Yes, you're very welcome. Round two, Bill?
I think you totally threw us off our game with that presentation, because I forgot to mention that
Pace the right things down.
tomorrow night in Leesburg, 6 o'clock, there's a March of Love. It's to speak about hatred and those kind of things that are going on. And I'll be a keynote speaker because I'm so loving. And so it's a must be there event. That's it.
All right. Stephanie, do you have anything? Oh, all right. All right. Seeing nothing else, any objections to adjourning? All right. We are adjourned.
That was actually great, Sandy, your presentation.
I thought so too, Sandy.